That's another topic you mentioned now, diet or this area of our life which also affects our health to great extent, and so it's not just the technology like we've mentioned already, but also this area where trends and concerns and let's say trendy recommendations or warnings come up. So it might be difficult, especially if we are, for instance, limited for medical reasons too, for in our diet, like when to adapt more and more trendy recommendations. What should we eat? What we should opt out, and when to just keep calm and not be rushed or excited about the latest recommendations when it comes to our diet, or not just diet, but it's a good example. It's something we do every day, and we need to take care of or take into consideration.
Yeah, this is a very good point, because I think it's another challenge of these times, that we are so overwhelmed by so many information, and I think we have to avoid both extremes, and as usual the golden midway is for me like the option. So on one hand, I think it's perfect that we can be inspired and maybe learn and listen, hear about different approaches, but there should be always time, when we retreat, switch off all this, and then listen to the inner truth and inner voice. But we need both. If I retreated myself for 10 years in a cave, it's okay, but then when I get back to this life, I think I will be really very sick and unhappy. So I think it's really good to go along, but be very careful not to forget the inner voice and the inner truth, and always train the self-perceptiveness. And from the practical point of view, I think the best way is like periodically switch off. So I am completely in like taking information online, communicating, but maybe we can design kind of regime that one day a week I switch off everything, or maybe 3 days a month I get off offline somewhere in hidden place, and I'm alone, completely alone, without any electronic device, just with my notebook, and I can write my thoughts. And this is very beneficial. This is also what I practice myself, and I see also the need of both. Yeah. And what I have observed at the beginning, it seemed to me very difficult to get off like 1 day a week, to be completely offline, because I was always sure that there was something very important I will miss, because many people, they evade my response, and I promise this and promise that. But afterwards I realized that I'm more effective, always more effective, because the 1 day off, what I take, all this the enormous amount of income, information, extra stimuli I was nourished the previous 6 days, I have the space to arrange them, you know. And this is what I do the 7 days. So I take my notebook, I just write the thoughts and priorities. And although I really don't like at all the other morning when I open my email box and there are 20 emails like this, but then I see that I'm much more clear, I have much more focused, and I set up the priorities, and the following 3 days I am maybe twice as effective as before. But you know, this is just, I speak about my experience, maybe it's just an inspiration, because I can imagine other people, they will do it another way, but in general also to do kind of retreat, like 3 days off, and to get in some natural place at least once in a couple of months. I think it's very beneficial for everybody. Yeah, or like now the pilgrimage Now it's very, very modern. I'm a big fan of it, like this long distance walks. As it's excellent, you know, and because it's hard to walk like 100 kilometers away or Facebook like this. So another means this. Somebody likes to get in some like really hidden place, not move, to be still. Why not? In forest, cave, why not? But so everybody finds her way. But I think it's very good to consider this. Yeah.
Absolutely, because you create conditions for getting distance a little bit, getting a chance to digest all that you've been, you know, people have been all the life throwing at you. And
you're right, this is digestion. This is the same, we can tell this is the same as if you eat like all the day, all the night. Sometimes you need really to stop eating for certain periods, because everybody, we know it, that more you appreciate the next meal, you know.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
this is the same.
It's time out, physically, mentally. It's a good metaphor, yes, with the digestion and technical sense of the world.
Yeah, but it's challenge. Yeah, you know.
It is, because we live in an environment which usually keeps, you know, suggesting that we don't have time for this, we don't have opportunity for this, because we have this and that, and our responsibilities and duties and activities that we that cannot wait for us. But I think it's a recipe for disaster if we never stop, you know. So it's just a matter of time when we're told by something that we actually can stop and need to stop. So it's better to do it.
And you know, this is also, it really concerns quite remarkably the health, because this is exactly how many of the pathological chains start, which lead at the end to even life-threatening situations. This is exactly this. That because if you don't stop, if you don't take this time just to arrange and calibrate all these stimuli, you dampen your feedback, which gets from inside the body. You don't hear it, and the more you accelerate, then the louder the voice is, and then it comes often to a point when the break point when the health is broken. And this is the very typical mechanisms for many diseases. So when we speak about prevention, so this is also one of, as we have spoken at the beginning, about the recovery during sleep, about the self-healing mechanisms which occurs when we are practicing whatever mindful or awareness activities with awareness. So another means how to support this self-healing potential and not to allow the pathological pathways to be triggered is to take the time to, let's say, recalibrate or arrange or make order in all this stuff we digest.
Because there's a lot of it
coming
our way all the time. Even without realizing it. It took me a few days in the mountains to realize that once I got back to Prague, I was attacked by all billboards and images and words and actions like do this, do that, like you said, scroll, comment, like, subscribe,
follow me,
do all of it at once. It's necessary to take a breath and think about things in a different way, not just keep going all the time.